good day everyone. How are you all today? Welcome back. My name is Hussein and I'm back again to bring you all the closing of the week updates, how the market was and what were the major events that actually happened and how did actually it surprised us unexpectedly, right? So first of all, I would like to share with you what has happened in the Dow Jones Industrial Average as I spoke about it in the past 2 weeks up, and it has been having a nice rally up due to the optimism of country reopening the economies and also slowly gaining the steam in terms of investors confidence. All right, so if you see that we had a nice rally, Dow Jones went up about, for this week I would say that about more than right, it really had a nice move up, which was all in all it was bullish movement, and I see that it has got more room to the upside and it will be going up, and for the next week we will see what it could be. I see that the forecast is still to the upside, is going to keep grinding higher. American International Group, as the early of the week we spoke about it, it is going up, seems really bullish, and it actually also gained bullish momentum in a way to bring these stocks towards the current price, which is trading at $35.05. Right, then moving on to looking ahead for some of the other stocks, as we spoke about it. Goldman Sachs has been having a nice rally up. It has been having a major recovery, as you see that from here, from this level we were here at the early of the week and it still went up, but I see that week ahead it would be still pushing up, because when you look at the technical levels, when you look at the price action, there's so much room for it to raise at least another $20 from the current price. All right, and United Health America is taking a bit of time to make new highs. And looking ahead for this forex market has been a little bit choppy this week because we have got a lot of economical data coming out. For example, if you look at the euro, pairs, and also if we see that for Euro USD, which is here right now, as you could see here for Euro USD, the price has been going up all the way. Why? Because Euro actually really high against the US dollar, because for the 8th consecutive trading day it has been really going up. Why? Because the European Central Bank they were actually widely expected to boost its bond buying program, and yesterday they did deliver it. All right, now in the reaction of that, what happened to the euro actually went all the way up. Instead of adding 500 billions, right, euros to the pandemic emergency purchase program, they actually added 600 billion euros and extended the duration of their purchases to at least June 21. Right now, the ECB was actually larger than expected to actually do this arrangements, whereby the market actually responded to that and they actually brought euro all the way up, and this is why there are more buyers than sellers in the euro. Now, when we talk about euro, right, I see that there are a little bit of skepticism what could be the next move, because if we look at this the current structures over here, I see that, you see, looking at the current levels here, you see this is where the price actually dropped. Now looking at the current situation, because we also have got non-farm payrolls today, right? So for the non-farm payrolls, you see that we see that if the data is going to be positive, this can actually also come back as fast as it went up. Right now, the ECB also sees that the economy contracting by at least 8.7% at the end of 2020, right, and also rebounding by 5.2% in 2021. So see, overall the forecast is to the downside. So while Q2 data will be giving us a signal about the weak contraction that is going to be occurred, right, and they also expect the recovery to begin in the third quarter. Right, so now the central bank remains committed to doing more if needed, but yesterday's action were not only bigger than expected. This is why euro actually really went up all the way. Now, while investors, like I mentioned earlier, bullish on euro, there is also an alternative scenario that is happening today. right? As you see that we have got non-farm payrolls, which is going to be released tonight, and we saw that there were about more than 20 million jobs were lost in the recent week, and this is a significant actually improvement compared to the before in the America, right? So unfortunately, more job losses mean the unemployment rate is expected to spike up to at least 19.2% from 14.7%. So with the wage growth slowing from 1% to 4%, right? And I would see that it could be significant because most of the U.S. states are actually easing restrictions, right? So because of that, we will see there could be some hiring, but not as meaningful as it before. But obviously, data is expected to be better when we see the economical situation in the United States, right? So there are certain arguments in the favor of stronger payrolls, right? What are those arguments that we're actually looking at? First of all, the employment component, which is this ISM non-manufacturing, it actually rises from 30% to 31.8%, right? Then looking ahead for the employment component, which is ISM manufacturing, right? It actually rises from 27.5% to 32.1%, which is a significant improvement, right? And also ADP from NASDAQ report, which is about they lost about I would say that about 2.7 million jobs instead of this 19.55 million, right? And also the 4-week moving average actually it is actually telling us that the average jobless claims were about 2.28 million instead of having what 4.18 million which was forecasted. That means lesser people has actually applied for their jobless claims. That means situation is getting better, right? And also continuing claims at about 21.48 millions versus 22.37 millions, you see. And also consumer confidence index rises from 85.7% to 86.6%. So all of these indicators such as University of Michigan, when you blend it together, that also actually became better, from 72.3%. All right. So all in all, there are many more reports that are actually giving us a clue that we are expecting the non-farm payrolls to be better than the previous month. So this is why when the non-farm payroll is going to be better than the previous month, what you would be expecting this euro to drop, right? So but however, we need to wait and see the price action, and we will see how the outcome is going to be, and we will see what further adjustment or what upcoming signals that will be coming up for the following week, right? Looking ahead for many other pairs, as I spoke about it, whenever there's a non-farm payrolls, whenever there's major data happening, usually the market becomes a little bit tricky, but that's just temporary, all right? So I will see that it was a very volatile week. We had Nike also, like we forecasted at the early of the week, it's gonna go up. It has been going up. We spoke about Twitter, and we spoke about Twitter like it will be going up, and actually went up a couple of dollars, and then now it has been rejected by this level because with the major resistance over there. I see that next week there will be more room for us to view on the situation, how the market would be responding to that. Right? So alright guys, that's all for the week, and I believe that another challenging, another interesting week. We will be coming back forward to bring you more updates the following week, in which we will be seeing how the market is going to respond, because every week changes with the new patterns, with the new structure, with new opportunities that will give us more room to trade the potential setups that will be making us more profitable and also towards our goals that what we want to be. Right? So for now I'll be signing off. Stay tuned, and we will be coming back again next week. Till then, take care.